today will be studied by future lawyers for years to come. Hello, my fam. It is Perez, the queen of all media, the original influencer, and your #1 source for everything Diddy drama. It's the final day, a very important one in the federal trial against the disgraced music mogul where he is facing trafficking, racketeering, and prostitution charges. He potentially faces the rest of his life behind bars. And in my opinion, his lead attorney, Mark Agnifilo, has failed him so hard throughout his hours-long closing argument. I've already made many videos about his major F-ups. Watch those from earlier today to be fully caught up. And now, Mark wanted the jury today to know how much Diddy loved Cassie, his ex-girlfriend that he repeatedly beat. It's a real relationship and they were in love, he told the jury. Cassie's no joke, and that's why he loved her. She matched him. She was like him. Cassie eventually made an adult choice to leave the relationship and got no pushback from Diddy, Mark said. Quote, "She was always free to leave. She chose to stay because she was in love with him." Mark also discussed their sex life, saying, quote, "She's a woman who actually likes sex. Good for her. She's beautiful. She should. She's intense. She's unafraid. They were their best selves when it came to sex. They fought when it came to other women." Out of the scores of text messages admitted into evidence in the trial, Marky Mark said, "You won't find one where she's like, 'I didn't like that sex. I'm not attracted to you. I don't like our sex life. It's just not for me.'" Agnifilo said that Ventura and Combs match up when it comes to sex. Remember, they admit to the domestic violence of it all. There was one incident in January of 2009 where Diddy beat her after an event in an SUV and stomped on her face. When they got back to Diddy's home and he saw her face was bleeding and swollen, he had his security take her to the London hotel in Los Angeles. She testified that she wanted to stay at Diddy's home to recover, but wasn't allowed to, and was taken to the hotel where she stayed for about a week. Diddy's lawyer argued today that she went to the hotel for her own good, as they didn't want anything in the press. The defense argued that it's not kidnapping when you want to go to the house of the guy you're charging with kidnapping. All right, that's a good point. One of very few today. Additionally, they're trying to spin Diddy's threats of releasing sex tapes against his victims as empty threats. Mark said, "I think he was angry, and I think he said it. He didn't do it. He would never do it." Additionally, his lawyer shot down claims that his former assistant, Capricorn Clark, was kidnapped when she was forced to take a lie detector test. Capricorn testified that she was petrified after being brought to an abandoned building in New York and locked in while being questioned about his missing jewelry. His attorney said today, "This is supposedly a kidnapping. She's not saying she was harassed. She was kidnapped. She went home every day. She said, 'I kept doing it because I wanted to pass and get back to my job.'" He then turned to the jury, said, "You guys are stuck in here for hours. Anyone feel kidnapped? You're about as kidnapped as she was kidnapped." No. If she wasn't kidnapped, why was she locked in that room? Why were there threats of violence against her? And there's so much more. Stay tuned for what's next in another video shortly from the explosive and exciting final day of the Diddy trial. Until then, let's discuss everything in the comments section.